how to use the knowledge of Nakshatras to increase the accuracy of predictions in your horoscope. So if you want to use Nakshatras to increase the accuracy of predictions, especially the accuracy of your Vimshotri Mahadasha prediction, then this is the right video for you, because in this video I am going to reveal a lot of wisdom about the planets, the prominent nakshatras in your horoscope, the placement of planets in certain nakshatras, the interconnection between these nakshatra and these planets, that is lordship of nakshatra and placement of planets in particular nakshatras. So if you want to know about the secret, and if you want to know about how nakshatras play such a vital role in deciding the outcome of your Vimshotri Mahadasha, then first you have to subscribe to Purab's universe, because only if you subscribe to Purab's universe you will get access to such different content. And after watching this video in its entirety, if you've liked this video, please hit the like button, guys. If you have disliked this video, hit that dislike button, but show me your genuine reaction. So hey guys, what's up? I hope you guys are doing great, and I welcome you back to Purab's universe, and I welcome you to the realm of the nakshatras, the lunar mansions, right? So first of all, you need to know that there are 28 nakshatras, not 27, and in these 28 nakshatras there is a nakshatra called Abhijit nakshatra, which is hidden, which is secretive, and which is not mentioned much about, because it's a nakshatra which is signifying victory, right? And if this knowledge of the usage of Abhijit nakshatra in certain aspects of our life became open, then people will misuse the power of this nakshatra, and the negative people, the bad type of people, will gain power in this society, which we don't want. So that's why the knowledge of Abhijit nakshatra is kept a secret. So the 27 nakshatras in series are as follows: Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika, Rohini, Mrigashira, Ardra, Punarvasu, Pushya, Ashlesha, Magha, Purva Falguni, Uttar Falguni, Hasta, Chitra, Swati, Vishaka, Anuradha, Jeshta, Mula, Purva Ashada, Uttar Ashada, Shravana, Dhanishta, Satabhisha, Purva Bhadrapad, Uttar Bhadrapad, and Revati nakshatras. So these are the 27 nakshatras. That is a very easy way to remember. I will give it in a short video such that everybody can understand it, right? So now coming to our point, consider this chart, okay? This is the horoscope of a Aries ascendant, and you know this Aries ascendant, right? Guess whose chart this is. Keep guessing. I am not going to reveal. So in this horoscope, you can see that the planetary placements are follows. Mercury placed in 6 degrees of Aries. So Mercury is placed in Ashwini nakshatra ruled by Ketu. Sun is placed in 29 degrees of Aries. So Sun is in Kritika nakshatra, and the ruler of Kritika nakshatra, or the planet connected with Kritika nakshatra, is Sun himself, right? Then you have the Moon, which is placed in 11 degrees, right? And 11 degrees of Gemini falls in Ardra nakshatra. So Moon is placed in Ardra nakshatra ruled by Rahu. Similarly, Venus is placed in 15 degrees of Gemini. So 15 degrees of Gemini falls in Ardra nakshatra, again ruled by Rahu. Fair enough? Then you've got Ketu. Ketu is placed in 28 degrees of Gemini, but the nakshatra is changing here. So the nakshatra is Punarvasu nakshatra ruled by Jupiter, because Punarvasu is ruled by Jupiter, guys, right? Then you have Mars in 0 degree 44 minutes of Cancer, right? And 0 degree 44 minutes of Cancer is a Pushkar Navamsha, and Mars is placed in Punarvasu nakshatra, again ruled by Jupiter, okay? Then we have Jupiter placed in the 4th house in this horoscope, exalted in the sign of Cancer in 13 degrees. So Jupiter is placed in Pushya nakshatra ruled by Saturn, right? And then let's go empty. Let's go to Rahu. Rahu is placed in 28 degrees of Sagittarius sign, and 28 degrees of Sagittarius sign has Uttar Ashada nakshatra, and Uttar Ashada nakshatra is ruled by Sun, right? So Rahu is also placed in the energy of Sun. Then let's go to Saturn, the remaining planet of this chart. So Saturn is placed in the 10th house in Capricorn in 13 degrees, and this 13 degrees of Saturn falls in Shravana Nakshatra, and Shravana Nakshatra is ruled by moon, right? So nobody will tell you, because there is a certain cult of people who are practicing a certain type of astrology, which is Nakshatra astrology, which is very accurate in itself, right? And in this system, what we are going to do is, we are going to take the consideration of Vimshotri Mahadasha, right? So what is Vimshotri Mahadasha? In general, it is called as Mahadasha, but Vimshotri Mahadasha is a 120-year-old planetary period, and during this 120-year-old planetary period, different planets are assigned different duration, right? And the Mahadasha is calculated in such a way that in whichever nakshatra your natal moon is placed in your horoscope, that nakshatra is ruled by a particular planet, right? So in this case, moon is placed in Gemini and in 11 degrees, and that is falling in Ardra nakshatra. So Ardra nakshatra is ruled by Rahu, so you will be running Rahu Mahadasha. Let's say if moon was placed in 13 degrees of Capricorn instead of 11 degrees of Gemini, then moon would have been placed in Shravana nakshatra. So your first Mahadasha or your Janma Mahadasha would have been moon Mahadasha. So this is how Mahadasha is calculated, right? Vimshotri Mahadasha I am talking about. Now, there is a cardinal rule which says that whenever a planet is placed exalted in a sign, so it will give only good results, and it will give exalted results, and it will take you to cloud 9. It will make your life like heaven, right? And whenever a planet is placed in debilitation, it doesn't have the power, it doesn't have the strength to manage its significance, and because of that, wherever or whichever houses the planet is ruling and the Karakatvas that the planet is ruling, you will be feeling the lack of it in your life, right? So the general rule of astrology says that a planet is placed in a particular house in a particular Rashi, look at the dispositor of that Rashi. So in this case, if let's say Jupiter is placed in Cancer, so what results Jupiter would be giving you in its Dasha Antardasha, that is Vimshotri Mahadasha, can be deduced by looking at the placement and dignity of moon in this horoscope. If moon is well placed, Jupiter will give you good results. If moon is not well placed, Jupiter will give you bad results. So that is how fundamentally the prediction and analysis of Dasha is done. So the second example would be, let's say Rahu is placed in the 9th house debilitated in Sagittarius. So the general rule would be, to assess the results of Rahu, we look at the dispositor of Rahu, and in this case the dispositor of Rahu is Jupiter, because Rahu is placed in Sagittarius sign ruled by Jupiter, right? So Jupiter is exalted, so it is very evident that Rahu will give you the results of its dispositor, so it will be giving you good results during its Dasha Antardasha. So this is the general case where you see, look at the sign in which a particular planet is placed, and then based on that sign you look at the lord of that particular sign. If the lord of that particular sign is well placed and exalted, then that planet is going to give you good results, right? Now here comes the role of Nakshatras in deducing the actual good results of the planets. That is, in spite of a planet being debilitated in your horoscope, and in spite of the lord of that particular house being afflicted in your horoscope, still this planet cannot be considered weak, and still this planet can give you good results during its Mahadasha. Now how it can give you is that you have to look in which particular nakshatra this planet is placed. So let's say Mars is placed in 0 degrees of Cancer. So Mars is placed in Punarvasu nakshatra, right? Now what is the dignity of the lord of Punarvasu nakshatra? Punarvasu nakshatra is ruled by Jupiter, correct? Now Jupiter is exalted in this horoscope. So the nakshatra lord of Mars, which is Jupiter, so Mars is placed in Punarvasu nakshatra and the nakshatra lord of Punarvasu is Jupiter. So Jupiter is exalted, and that is why during the Dasha Antardasha of Mars you will be getting good results, not bad results. Similarly, look in whichever nakshatras these planets are placed. So let's say for example, Sun is placed in 29 degrees of Aries and Sun is placed in Kritika nakshatra, right? Now Sun is exalted here and Sun is also placed in its own nakshatra because Kritika nakshatra is ruled by Sun. So because of this, during the Dasha Antardasha of Sun, definitely it's going to give you a lot of health, vitality, confidence, because it's the 5th lord also, so it's going to give you luck, a lot of Purva Punya and good things in life, right? Now the point is, in this native's life, Jupiter Mahadasha was supposed to be very good, guys. Why? Because Jupiter is the lord of the 9th house of fate and fortune, the 12th house of religion, spirituality, expenses and foreign settlement, and it is placed in the 4th house, exalted in the sign of Cancer, right? So the ideal dictum would be that during the Mahadasha of Jupiter, you will be getting a lot of education and wisdom and knowledge, and Jupiter will give you property, land, assets, building and motherly comforts, and everything would be very good, right? But that's not the case with this native. So when I dive deep into this chart and see, even though Jupiter is appearing to be exalted in the 4th house in the sign of Cancer, but this Jupiter is placed in Pushya Nakshatra because it is in 13 degrees of Cancer. Now Pushya Nakshatra is ruled by Saturn, right? And Saturn is a Badak because it is ruling the 11th house of this horoscope, because it's an Aries ascendant chart. So for an Aries ascendant, the 11th house becomes a Badak, and Saturn, which is ruling the 10th and 11th, will always create obstacles, delays and anxiety and tension and problem in life, guys. Anyway, Mars and Saturn are inimical to each other, right? Now Saturn being Badak and Jupiter, even though the lord of the 9th and the 12th, placed in the 4th, exalted in the sign of Cancer, during the Dasha Antardasha of this particular planet, the person saw a lot of problems. Why? Because Jupiter is placed in Saturn's Nakshatra, Pushya Nakshatra. Now, will he be able to overcome the problems or not can be seen from the dignity of Saturn in the horoscope. So Saturn is placed in own sign. So whatever problems Jupiter will be giving during its Dasha or Antardasha will later be managed, because the Nakshatra Lord Saturn ruling Pushya Nakshatra is well placed in this horoscope. So that's why things will get managed, even though it is a Badak yet. So another thing that happens in such placement is that during the Jupiter Mahadasha, the person saw a lot of problems at home front, at domestic front, lot of changes in house, frequent shifting of houses, lot of quarrels and disputes in the home regarding to property and inheritance, right? Now Jupiter being placed in the 4th house, exalted in Cancer, should have given good results, but because Mars and Ketu and Mars both are malefic planets, and Ketu and Mars are placed in the nakshatra of Jupiter, because Ketu is in Punarvasu nakshatra ruled by Jupiter, Mars is in Punarvasu nakshatra ruled by Jupiter. So when Jupiter Mahadasha will go for this person, actually he will be feeling the results of a Ketu and a Mars. So it's like running a Ketu plus Mars combined Mahadasha, not a Jupiter Mahadasha. And similarly, let's say when Saturn Mahadasha will be active, Jupiter, because it is placed in the sign of Saturn, so during the Mahadasha of Saturn, he will be getting comforts, property, luxuries and benefits of the 4th house, because when Saturn will get activated during its Mahadasha, Jupiter being placed in the nakshatra of Saturn, Jupiter will also get activated, and it is during the Saturn Mahadasha when Jupiter will be able to give its good results, the full auspicious results. So nakshatras can be used to peep in, to zoom in like a telescopic view and see actually what results a particular planet's Mahadasha is going to yield. Is it going to give you a good result? Is it going to give you a bad result? And if you see that the exalted and well placed so-called benefics and important planets, the 5th lord, 9th lord, they are placed in malefic nakshatras or inimical nakshatras, that means during the Dasha Antardasha of that particular planet, let's say Jupiter in this case, or let's say Sun in this case, for example, I'm saying, it's not going to give you great results, guys, because the foundation is negative, right? So to sum it up, whenever you have to analyze the Mahadasha of a particular planet, you have to look at the nakshatra in which the particular planet is placed. You have to analyze the placement, the dignity and the positivity or negativity of the nakshatra lord. So if the nakshatra lord is well placed, that means the Mahadasha of the planet which is placed in that nakshatra is going to go good. When Saturn Mahadasha will get activated, Jupiter will give its auspicious result. Similarly, when Jupiter Mahadasha will be running, Ketu and Mars will be giving its result, right? So that is how it is connected at nakshatra level. So watch this video a couple of times, only then you will be able to understand what I am trying to say. And if you got confused, please comment and I will try to connect with you and clarify your doubt. So I hope using this system of nakshatras, and you can increase the accuracy and understand the overall result of the Mahadasha of a particular planet. Is the Mahadasha of the particular planet going to go good for you, or is the Mahadasha of the particular planet going to go bad for you? So I hope this video enlightened you guys. I love you all. This is Purab signing off from Purab's universe. Take care of yourself, take care of the nakshatras in your horoscope. And I know there is a lot of background noise today, but I wanted to make this video. Let nature do whatever it is doing. Let me focus on my work. So adios, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.